Hey, in this video, I'm gonna show you the easiest way that you can fill text with an image, and we're gonna do that by using Canva Pro and Photoshop together. And believe me, I know Canva Pro is amazing, and if I could just stay in Canva forever, I would too. But there's certain things that you can't do in Canva, and that's where Photoshop comes into play. But this effect is a really fun one. I know you're gonna like it. There's tons of uses for it, so let's get right to it. Say create design, why not just choose a YouTube thumbnail? And from the YouTube thumbnail, we'll start putting in some text. The first thing we can say is fill, the word fill. And then here we can also click on this spacing icon up here and change the letter spacing and squeeze the letters together. And now that we have that, we can copy and paste this layer and we can say fill text. And let's resize text so that it looks really nice. Okay, and now we'll paste another one and we'll write the word image. And I think what we'll do is we'll actually kind of line up the I with the T here. Okay, and now just the word with, but we're gonna have to make it kind of teeny. And I was thinking we would throw it on its side by rotating it to minus 90 degrees. And then we can maybe sneak the width in. I think that looks pretty cool. Fill text with image. And now if we want, we can group all these together so they'll move around and keep this relationship. Let's actually press the down arrow while fill is selected to kind of butt it up against that word text even more. And then click, drag, and hold to get this marquee thing, which will allow you to select a ton of layers all together at once. And then you'll see this appear group. And now we have these as one group. So how do we fill this with an image? Well, first let's find some images we can fill this with. I'm gonna click on add a page. Let's come over to photos from the left-hand toolbar, and we'll just type in patterns. This one. We could have water, why not? And ooh, I really like these rainbow bubbly things. This is pretty cool. Maybe something like this. Now we have some images, as you can see, that we want to fill this text with. So how do we do that? Well, this is where we're going to need to bring all of these images over into Photoshop. So I'm gonna say share, and from share, I'll click on download. And from download, I'm gonna drag the size slider over and make it nice and big, and then just say download. And then we wait. There it is, it's zipping. Now that it's zipping, we just click on it, and we can click into this folder from the downloads. Let's highlight all of these, and I'm gonna control click on a Mac, but you can right click on a PC, and we're gonna say open with Photoshop. There's many ways you can get photos into Photoshop, but this is the easy way to do it. So now, if we come here to the text, I'm gonna show you how easy it is to create a mask with text like this in Photoshop. You just come over to this tool right here, which is the magic wand tool. And if you're unfamiliar with Photoshop, as you come along this left-hand toolbar, they do a really good job of telling you what these tools are. They give you the quick key for the tools. So Photoshop isn't something you need to be afraid of. It's something that you need to embrace to really support your Canva and your graphic design chops. Which, by the way, if you are working on your graphic design chops, we are in the development of an amazing online program called EditLab, where we're gonna work with social media managers or community managers who want to impress their clients with really professional graphics, or with business owners to take control of their graphic design and actually get into Canva and control the graphics that they create on a professional level for their own business. So if that's something that interests you, you can always go to podsoundschool.com to find out which courses we are currently offering. And if you want to get on the waitlist specifically for the Design Lab, go to podsoundschool.com/Design Lab. We're going to be offering some cool bonuses and sneak peeks for those who get on the waitlist. Okay, so now that we have the magic wand selected, which is W, all you have to do is click on one of these letters and look, it will select the letter. Now, if we hold the shift button, we can continue to make selections. So I'll do the same thing with the I, with the L, and we'll go letter by letter until all of the black area of the text is selected. Okay, now we have a selection. So now what we can do is simply just drag images in here. I will start with this one. I'm gonna press Command C while this layer is selected. Come back to this one and press Command V or Control V on a PC while this layer is selected. And now if I press the delete key, let's see what happens. Ooh, almost right, but we actually need it to delete the inverse of that. And there is a quick key for this that is really cool to memorize. It's Shift Command I, which stands for inverse. If you forget that, you can always left click or control click on a Mac on the selection that you've made. And look, down here it says select inverse. That will do the same thing. So I'm gonna press Shift Command I or Shift Control I on a PC. And now if I press delete, cool. we have the effect that we wanted. So now we could just repeat this process with all of these pictures and it won't take very long at all. We drag it in there and we press delete because the selection has already been made. So we pop it in there, we press delete. This way we can kind of see which of the designs maybe we like the best. Maybe we can combine them together. Oh, don't forget about this guy. Boom. Okay, so now we have these layers, and what we can do is now press Command D, which will deselect that selection we made. And now we can just hide all the layers except for the one that we want to export, so that we actually get the transparent background, as you can see. It's important that we maintain that transparent background. And now we just export these one at a time. And if you come up to File, you can say Export. And this first one, Quick Export is Ping, is what we want. Because when you export as a ping, it will maintain the transparent background. So we can drag this back into Canva and do even more really fun, cool things with it. So let's call this Flowers, and we'll just save it to the desktop. And now we repeat that process. I'm gonna export pings for all these designs, and we can pull them into Canva and see what else we can do in Canva. Crystals, bubbles, swimming pool with 3 O's, picnic, stripes with many S's, because we can do whatever we want. Okay, now if we come back to Canva, we can stay in the same design if we want and just add a page. And now down here, we'll say uploads. And I'm going to upload all those files that we just downloaded. So at this point, there's still a lot more you can do with these to make them pop even more. So these bubbles, for example, just to show you some of the things to get your creative juices flowing. Now you can edit this like you would an image, and Canva has some really cool image editing effects. It has this one down here, which is really cool, shadows. The drop will give it a drop shadow, which already looks really cool. It helps it pop more. The glow will actually trace it. And if you click on these 3-line dot thing here, it allows you to adjust the parameters of each effect. So we can actually turn the blur all the way down and the transparency all the way up. And that way now we actually have a stroke, and we can play with the stroke and get it just how we want. And that, I think, really helps that pop out a little bit more. So now you can start playing with your designs in lots of different ways. And then I will grab probably a screenshot from this and make the classic YouTube thumbnail face, which is mouth wide open in astonishment. Whoa! That's like the Mr. Beast face. And I think the reason that that performs so well is because when in regular everyday life do we get to see people make this face? Whoa! So when we see it, I think we're inclined to click on it. Like, what is that guy so astonished by? So I'll make that face, I'll throw that in here, and then I will have a good YouTube thumbnail. And if I just wet your Canva whistle and you're ready to keep learning some really cool Canva effects and hacks, this effect right here you'll really love. It's also a text effect. It's where you can place text behind an object in a photo or a person in a photo. And this one, you don't even have to leave Canva. We do it all within Canva. So check that one out now. And again, give me the mind blown in the comments.